So looking ahead, if Murdaugh's appeal is successful, it's entirely possible that his admitted financial crimes may not be allowed in as evidence. That may be a reason that the appeal is successful. So for today's Talkback question, we asked you, what do you think will be the most compelling evidence for the state if, in fact, that does happen? All right, still with criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor David Bruno and prosecutor and Commonwealth attorney Anton Bell. Gentlemen, our first comment comes from Barbara. Barbara says, those guns and clothes are on the other property that he had Cousin Eddie dig ditches on. They're buried under all that dirt. Had ample time after the murders to move them to other properties from his mom's home. You know what, Anton, where the clothes are and the guns, all those things still are questions out there about this case, and quite frankly, there are more, I think there are more unanswered questions than there are answered questions about this case.
I agree. I'll tell you, those things are not things that kind of move me. Can I tell you what moved me about this particular case? His words. His own words are what killed him, unfortunately, and not using it as a pun, but his own words are what ensnared him, because he initially told the police he was not there. He was home with his mom. Well, unfortunately, you got the blood of your victims on you, and on top of that, you take the stand because you think you're the smartest person in the room, and you think you can fool everybody, and you begin to literally just spin a deeper hole for yourself by trying to kind of confuse everyone concerning what you previously said, or make an explanation for what you previously said. Here's the problem. If they take this case and reverse it and bring it back and say you have to retry this case, you still have his words because he took the stand. So now you have a transcript. Now I can use, even if you don't take the stand now, you have shown yourself to be a pathological liar, and I can blast that throughout the trial, and no one's going to forget that. Everyone who watched this case said you really sealed the deal when you took the stand.
Yeah, absolutely. Between the statements that he made to police, it still boggles my mind that if you are trying to get away with this crime, why wouldn't you just say, hey, I'm too devastated. Let's talk tomorrow, or I'll come down to the station. So many other ways to handle it. It's got to be the act of a narcissist, thinking that he could fool everybody, all along the way. Or maybe he thought he had the officers in his pocket. Let's go to our next comment. It comes from Michael. Nice name, Michael. That video with him on it nailed him. So Michael agrees with the juror, and I think all the jurors agree. I think we all can agree that that video was key to the case. So let me ask you this, David. If, in fact, let's say it comes back. Let's say they say, you know what, you went overboard. You shouldn't have allowed all that other evidence in regarding the financial crimes. Do you think the state can still get a conviction?
Yes. And I didn't think that financial evidence, that 404 evidence should have come in. How do they convict him? 8:44, we got the kennel video. Minutes later, we have the steps, 283 steps and making phone calls. We have the OnStar timeline at 9:07, him leaving the property. We have him slowing down at the place that Maggie's phone was found, and then accelerating up at 74 miles an hour, lying about how long he was at his mom's house, and the ultimate lie that was shown to be a lie because of the kennel video, I wasn't at the scene. I think that's all the prosecutor needs right then and there.
Yeah, I think I agree. I'm not sure they even needed that financial stuff. Our next comment comes from Karen. Karen says, I watched the body cam tape of the first officer. I don't recall seeing anyone from their team looking through the buildings, dog kennels, looking for possible intruders. The discussions within their team pretty much pointed to Alex immediately. And I'm not supporting Alex. I'm just saying it didn't appear they had an open mind from the onset. And Anton, that's a fair statement. But at the end of the day, we heard at the very beginning of this segment, the officers talking about why that might have been the case. And it makes perfect sense to me. I have no problem at all. You're looking at him, and that's where you should look. And what you're really trying to do is eliminate him. And they never could.
So for those who are not familiar with any type of investigation, particularly a homicide, you always look at the closest kin. That is going to always be the first place that law enforcement is going to start, because yes, you want to be able to eliminate them or you want to be able to confirm that this particular individual is a potential suspect in this particular case. So law enforcement is going to always look at the spouse. Law enforcement is going to always look at maybe a parent, or if it's a child fatality. They're going to always look at the closest kin to eliminate that person as the potential suspect.
And when that person is the person to find the bodies, right, then that even makes it even more of a reason, right? It wasn't like he wasn't there. He found the bodies. So that, I mean, it gives them all the more reason to suspect him. All right, David Bruno, Anton Bell, thank you so much. Really appreciated and enjoyed your input tonight. Thank you so much for that. Folks, you're going to be sticking